Toyota is still one of the most reliable car brands in the world. But even the best manufacturers have models that, because of price, technology, or market timing, simply aren't the smartest buying decision right now. Some of the cars on this list feature interesting technologies that aren't very practical yet, others cost more than what they realistically deliver, and a few are stuck in segments where Toyota itself already offers better alternatives within its own lineup. So if you're thinking about buying a Toyota in 2026, this video might save you a lot of money and a lot of future regret. Let's start with the first vehicle on this list, and probably one of the most surprising, the Toyota Sequoia 2026. On paper it looks like the perfect SUV, but when you analyze what buyers actually get, several important issues begin to appear. First, let's talk about the good things, because the Sequoia is not a bad vehicle. In fact, mechanically it's very impressive. It uses the iForce Max hybrid system from Toyota, which combines a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 with electric assistance to produce 437 horsepower and 583 pounds-feet of torque, figures that make it one of the most powerful SUVs in its segment. It also offers towing capacity of up to 9,500 pounds, which is excellent for anyone who actually needs to pull large trailers or boats. But this is where the problems begin for the average buyer. The first issue is price. The 2026 Sequoia starts at around $65,000, and well-equipped versions can easily exceed $85,000, placing it in a price range where it competes with SUVs that are often more refined or offer more interior space. The second problem, and one of the most criticized, is the real cargo space. Even though it's a large SUV, the hybrid battery forces the rear floor to sit higher, which means the third row cannot fold completely flat into the floor. This creates a less practical cargo area with uneven surfaces, limiting what you can actually carry. In other words, you get a massive SUV on the outside, but cargo space that isn't as usable as some rivals of the same size. The third point is something many buyers don't expect: real-world fuel economy. Even though it's a hybrid, the system is tuned more for power than efficiency, and combined fuel economy is around 20 miles per gallon, which isn't particularly impressive for a hybrid vehicle. For example, if you want a large but more efficient SUV, the Toyota Grand Highlander hybrid often ends up being a more logical option. And if you truly want a full-size SUV, some competitors simply offer better use of interior space. The next one on this list is probably one you already expected, the Toyota bZ4X 2026. And this case is interesting, because it's not that the car is terrible. The problem is that it arrives in a market where many competitors simply do the job better. First, it's important to understand something. Toyota was a pioneer in electrification with the Toyota Prius, but somewhat surprisingly it arrived fairly late to the fully electric vehicle market. The bZ4X was Toyota's first serious global electric SUV attempt, and while it does have some strengths, it also comes with several limitations that cause many buyers to rule it out quickly. The first issue is range. Depending on the version, the EPA estimated range is roughly between 222 and 252 miles. That's not terrible, but in a market where many EVs at similar prices easily exceed 300 miles, it starts to look a bit limited. The second problem is charging speed. The maximum DC fast charging power is around 150 kilowatts, but in real-world conditions many users report that the charging curve drops quickly after about 50 to 60%, which makes full charging sessions longer than expected. This means that on long road trips, it's not one of the most convenient EVs for quick charging stops. The third point is the performance of the all-wheel drive system. The AWD version uses two electric motors developed with help from Subaru, but even so, the acceleration remains fairly moderate compared with other electric SUVs on the market. It's not slow, but it also doesn't deliver the kind of punch many buyers expect from a modern EV. And then there's the fourth issue: price versus what you actually get. When you compare the bZ4X with other electric SUVs in the same price range, you start finding competitors that offer more range, better software ecosystems, faster charging speeds, or stronger performance. The third vehicle on this list is one that has lost much of its purpose in today's market, the Toyota Highlander 2026. For years, the Highlander was one of the most recommended family SUVs in the United States. It was reliable, comfortable, and offered 3 rows of seating in a relatively easy-to-drive size. However, the landscape changed significantly when Toyota introduced the Toyota Grand Highlander, a model that essentially solved several of the traditional Highlander's weaknesses. The main issue with the standard Highlander continues to be interior space, especially in the third row. While it is technically a 3-row SUV, the reality is that the third row is better suited for children or short trips. For adults on longer journeys, legroom and headroom can feel quite tight, something many buyers notice immediately when comparing it with other SUVs in the same segment. In addition, when all 3 rows are in use, the cargo space behind the third row is fairly limited. This means that on family trips you may often need to fold down a seat or rely on a roof cargo box to carry luggage. The Grand Highlander, on the other hand, was designed specifically to solve that issue. It has a longer wheelbase, a third row that is far more usable for adults, and significantly more cargo space, making it a much more practical vehicle for larger families. The second point that has generated debate is the current powertrain. In previous generations, this SUV used a smooth and reliable 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6. But Toyota replaced it with a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine producing around 265 horsepower and 310 lb-ft of torque. From a technical standpoint, the turbo engine offers more low-end torque and better efficiency, but many drivers feel it lacks the refinement and linear power delivery that the old V6 provided. It's not necessarily a mechanical problem, but it is a difference many buyers notice. There's also the hybrid version. The Toyota Highlander Hybrid remains an interesting option because of its efficiency, achieving around 35 miles per gallon combined, which is excellent for a 3-row SUV. However, the Grand Highlander also offers hybrid variants, including the Hybrid Max system, which combines good efficiency with significantly stronger performance. And then we arrive at a key factor for any buyer: price. The Highlander can start in the $40,000 range, but once you begin adding higher trims, panoramic roof, all-wheel drive, and technology packages, the price can easily approach $50,000 or more, at which point many buyers start realizing that the Grand Highlander simply offers more vehicle for the money. The next vehicle on this list is one of the most interesting from a technological standpoint, but also one of the hardest to justify for the average buyer: the Toyota Mirai. Unlike a conventional electric vehicle, the Mirai doesn't rely on a large battery to store energy. Instead, it uses a hydrogen fuel cell, a system that combines hydrogen and oxygen inside an electrochemical stack to generate electricity in real time. That electricity powers an electric motor that moves the car, and the only byproduct of the process is water. From a technological perspective, this is impressive engineering. The Mirai can refuel with hydrogen in just 3 to 5 minutes, which is very similar to the time it takes to fill a gasoline tank. It also offers a driving range close to 400 miles depending on the version. In theory, it sounds like the perfect future: an electric vehicle that refuels as quickly as a gasoline car. But the problem appears when you leave the laboratory and look at the real world. The main reason the Mirai doesn't make sense for most buyers is infrastructure. Hydrogen refueling stations are extremely rare, especially outside a few specific locations. In the United States, for example, the majority of stations are concentrated in California, and outside that state they are almost non-existent. While the Mirai is betting on hydrogen technology, the rest of the industry has focused almost entirely on battery electric vehicles, which means that most investment in infrastructure and technological development is happening in that field. The last vehicle on this list is one that has generated quite a bit of debate since its release: the Toyota Crown Sedan 2026. The Crown is one of the oldest and most prestigious names within Toyota. In fact, the history of the Toyota Crown goes all the way back to 1955, when it was introduced as a luxury sedan primarily aimed at the Japanese market. For decades it represented comfort, technology, and prestige within the brand. But when Toyota decided to bring the Crown back to markets like the United States, it did so with a very different concept from what many people expected. The current model blends sedan, crossover, and hybrid characteristics, with a higher ride height than a traditional sedan and a design meant to stand out from the rest of Toyota's lineup. In theory, the idea was to offer something more exclusive than the Toyota Camry, but without reaching the price level of a luxury brand like Lexus. However, that's where the problems begin. The first issue is price. Depending on the version, the Toyota Crown starts around $41,000, and well-equipped trims can easily exceed $50,000. At that point, many buyers begin comparing it directly with premium brand vehicles, including models from BMW or Audi. And when that comparison happens, the Crown often starts to look like an expensive Toyota rather than a clear luxury sedan alternative. The second issue is market positioning. The Crown isn't exactly a traditional sedan like the Camry, but it's not really an SUV either. It sits in a sort of middle ground that some buyers find interesting, but others find confusing. Many people looking for a sedan prefer something lower and sportier, while buyers who want a higher driving position usually end up choosing an SUV instead. The third issue is competition within Toyota's own lineup. Today, vehicles like the Toyota Camry Hybrid offer excellent fuel efficiency, proven reliability, and a significantly lower price, which makes it difficult for the Crown to justify its position purely from a value perspective.